Goldminded Records, they're not your friends.
What up? It's Klive Kraven. I'm back again. This time we have a little bit of a review. A little bit different. I don't actually own this movie, sad to say. But it just came out. It is on demand right now, and that is VHS 2. I do plan on getting it. I own the first one on Blu-ray. Love the film. Love the first one. Love the second one. But let's go ahead and talk about it. Obviously, there is basically, it's an anthology tale, so there is a few different tales. There's basically 4 anthology tales wrapped around the whole VHS tale. So you get 5 stories really in this. The first story is a little bit weird. It's about a guy that gets an implant in his eyeball that basically puts a camera in his eye, and it allows him to see ghosts and dead people. And then he meets up with a girl that has the same thing, but basically in her ears she can hear ghosts and dead people but can't see them. I really don't understand the premise of how she even found the guy, and it really doesn't explain too much how that happens. So that one really wasn't my favorite, to be honest. It was probably my least favorite. I almost feel like as they went along, and I mean this is probably very, very ringing true except for the last 2. As the stories go along, they do progressively get better in my opinion. The second one is a zombie tale. Very cool how they did it though. It's a very interesting twist on the classic zombie tale. It is basically a point of view tale of a zombie. You see a guy get bit early in the beginning. He's riding his bike trail. He's riding bike trails. He's on a mountain bike. Girl, kind of runs into him and she's bleeding. She's like, "Oh, you gotta help me and my husband." The husband comes. He's infected as a zombie. He bites the biker. The biker becomes infected. And over that time, you kind of see him change, and you see, like, through his perspective, you see him die, and then the mutation, and then you see him eating other zombies, other people until they become zombies, and then it kind of just shows the whole thing unfold. They end up at like a birthday party, and that's a pretty wild scene. So I did actually kind of like that one, but it wasn't my favorite by far out of the 5 tales, that are in the film. The next one that brings us to is, what is it? It is The Cult. The suicide cult, basically. Very interesting story. It takes place over in Asia, I believe, and they are at this religious type, cult type school. It's very strange. They're raising up the kids to be pure and teaching them purity. And the guy that runs the school, the one that they call Father, I think that's just they just call him Father. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. He plays a really crazy character. He's a real wild guy, and I mean, there's really good gore in this episode. This tale, it does have a lot of good gore in there. The story is very cool, though. I mean, I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was really well told. I'm pretty sure it is subtitled, or at least parts of it are subtitled. But a hell of a watch. I really enjoyed the third tale in that. The last tale is a bit different. The last tale is an alien monster kind of story, about these kids. Their mom's into real estate. They end up getting this house, and they go party at this house, and they end up smoking and getting fucked up and doing what young kids do. But they're really young looking. They're probably like 13 to 15, somewhere in that era. Anyway, they're hanging out. They decide to go swimming. They go out to these docks, and they jump off the docks, and they're swimming in the water, and you see this thing come behind the kid in the water, and it looks really fucking weird. It's like a pale, no-face looking kind of creature, but like a human. And from that point on, things start happening. They start hearing things. They start seeing weird things outside, lights, loud horn type deals. And they go back inside, and the power cuts out, and they're sitting in the dark. And then all of a sudden, this fucking loud noise, like a train right next to their house, goes off. And this bright light shines in the house, and they're kind of just like, okay, what the fuck was that? A couple seconds later, you get this big alien thing that like jumps in. Well, not big. I mean, they're regular sized people, a little taller probably than regular sized people, but really crazy looking alien type monster things. I really did enjoy this tale. I thought it was cool. The only thing I didn't like at the end was with the scene with the dog. I was kind of sad to see the dog die. I hate when they fucking kill dogs in movies. I don't know. Like, fuck, man. I don't know why they do that. There's easier ways to not kill the fucking animal, you fucks. I don't know. It just gets under my skin seeing so many fucking animals die in movies. But I loved it. I thought it was a great film. I highly enjoyed it. Overall, out of a 10 for me, I'd probably give it a good 8 to to an 8.25, maybe even an 8.5 possibly. It was really enjoyable. I gotta say, I enjoyed it just as much, if not a little bit more than the first one. The stories were great. The acting was good. It was very interesting. And then, obviously, I wanted to touch on the whole story itself. The whole story is very cool too. How it plays off. It does follow from the first one, so if you've seen the first one, it does follow that. It's the same house again. But the whole VHS story in this is very fucking cool. And the little twist, I don't want to give away the little twist at the end. I've already given enough away with the stories, but there's a very cool little twist at the end. When you see how they're filming, it's very cool how it ends up unfolding, but I like that scene. Enjoyed the film. Like I said, I'd give it a strong 8 to an 8.5, somewhere in that range. I can't even say 8.25 because I almost want to give it 8.5, but almost want to go down to an 8. Kind of hard to say. Somewhere in that range. Very good film. Highly recommend it. Check it out if you haven't. And that pretty much wraps that up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment down below in the box. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.